Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome into For the Low. My name is Spencer. Today I'm going to show you how to replace the belt kit on your Sony cassette deck. Specifically, the one that I'm working with is model number TC-WR565, but this video should apply to a few different cassette decks. What you need is a screwdriver kit similar to this, and then you'll need your belt kit, of course. And you may also need to have some cleaning supplies handy, depending on what it looks like once we get in there. And the way that you know if you need to replace the belt kits is generally if it's not playing properly or not playing at all, or it's not fast forward or rewinding. You usually need to replace the belt kits, but the best way to make sure is just to look at the belts themselves. A lot of times it's obvious if they need to be replaced, but let's go ahead and talk about this. So first of all, you'll have 2 screws on each side that you'll have to remove. I already removed mine, and 2 right there. And then you'll have 1 on the rear panel. And then to take the top off, you'll just pinch both of the sides outward. And then the next thing you need to do is get the front panel off. So you'll disconnect all the wiring first. And then next thing is to get the screws that are holding the front panel in place. It looks like we'll need to get 5 screws out. And then once you have those off, you should be able to slide the front panel off. And then once you have the front panel off, the next step is to get the screw right here and the screw right here off. And I'll zoom in on that for you. And then once you have those off, there will be a catch down here that you need to unclip. And you may want to disconnect this wire right here. And then once you have this piece off, you'll see most likely this wheel will have the belt wrapped around it. It'll just be one piece of rubber. The best way to take care of that is get a flathead. And then you'll just put the flathead on it, and then you'll spin the wheel. You'll want to get this as clean as you can, but it doesn't need to be totally perfect. And using some rubbing alcohol is a good idea too. You want to try to get under the wheel as well. Some of it will get stuck right there. So you want to try to get it to look at least that clean. And then we'll take the counter belt off. And then now we can put the new belts on. So we'll start with the counter belt. You just have to get it around that wheel right there. Then once you have it around that, you can hook it these catches. Those will make it so that you can put the motor on and then it can just fall on it. And then with this belt, you'll put it on right here. You'll need to get it around all 3 of these catches. So you can you can see right there, it's got 3 catches. You need to make sure you get around all 3 of them. And then once you've got both of the belts on there, you can go ahead and hook it all back together. So you'll put it through those bottom catches right there. Once you have those hooked, you can pull this wire back through and connect it. And then you can put your 2 screws back on. And then once you have those on, you'll need to come back over to the belt, and you will maneuver the belt over onto the motor. It should be pretty simple. You should be able to just get it on there easily. And then you'll do the same thing with the counter belt. Just scoot it over onto the motor. Uh-oh. And if you mess it up a little bit, you might be able to, as you can see, I missed it. You might be able to get some tweezers or something, or even a paper clip would be a good idea. If you messed up both of them, it's probably best to take it apart again. Go ahead, we'll try this out. We'll see how this goes. Right, so I was able to use the paper clip to get it on there without needing to take it apart again, but if you need to take it apart again, no big deal, it's not that hard. But now we're done with this deck, so we can come over to this deck, and we'll be doing the same thing pretty much. The counter belt got pretty messed up. This is what the counter belt looks like now. Pretty nasty. You also need to clean this wheel right here. Sometimes it can get on there. Alright, and then now we've got the deck pretty much repaired. We should be good. We'll go ahead and connect it all back together and test it out. And if the model that you have is close to this one, you'll want to be careful with this part right here, because it's kind of loose and you need to slide the deck directly into it, and you don't want to break it. But now you can put the top on, and if you want to plug it in before putting the screws in to make sure you got it all back together correctly, you can. And it looks like this deck doesn't want to open. Let's see if we can. So it looks like the belt may have came loose. So we're gonna power it off and see if we can get the belt on there correctly. Looks like we're gonna have to take it apart again and put it back together, but I will put it back together real quick, put it in place. You already know how to do that if you need to do it again, but I'll cut for now and do that real quick. Alright, so I was able to get in there, put the belt back on properly, and now we can test it out again. So everything seems okay. So it looks like everything's working properly again, regarding the belts at least. So, looks like we're done here. We can put it all back together, put the screws on. So that's pretty much all there is for the belt repair of this Sony cassette deck. Hopefully it helped you get it going. If it didn't, you might want to consider sending it in to us, or you can order one like this or the same one possibly from our online store at fortheload.net, or you can give us a call.